Every day is a fresh start, a divine reset, a new chapter that heaven writes into the story of your life. Yet many people wake up each morning and treat it as though it is just another day, as though it carries no weight and no meaning. They roll out of bed, they rush into their schedules, and they react to life rather than directing it. And because they live like that, they lose the very thing that makes life powerful: purpose. To begin every morning without purpose is to live as though you are drifting without an anchor. You may be moving, but you are not progressing. You may be active, but you are not effective. Purpose is the reason behind your existence. It is the compass of your soul, the foundation of your decisions, and the fuel of your destiny. To start your morning with purpose is to remind yourself of why you are here and why this day matters. Without that reminder, you reduce your life to random tasks and urgent demands, and soon your days turn into weeks, your weeks into months, and your months into wasted years. You were never meant to wander through life without clarity. You were meant to live with direction, and direction must begin the moment you open your eyes each morning. When you wake up and immediately seek purpose, you separate yourself from the crowd. Most people wake up asking, "What do I have to do today?" But a person of destiny wakes up asking, "Who am I supposed to be today?" That shift in mindset is the difference between survival and significance. Anyone can get through a day, but not everyone can maximize a day. To maximize a day, you must connect it to the bigger vision of your life. You must see this morning as a piece of the puzzle, a necessary brick in the building of your future. Purpose gives meaning to your routine. The alarm clock that others despise becomes a reminder to you that life has given you another chance to fulfill your assignment. The work others complain about becomes for you a training ground for greater responsibility. The relationships you encounter become opportunities to influence, to grow, and to serve. When you begin your day with purpose, the ordinary becomes extraordinary because you no longer look at life through the lens of survival, but through the lens of destiny. To start your morning with purpose, you must first still yourself long enough to reflect. Before you rush into messages, news, or responsibilities, take a moment to ask, what is my why? Purpose is not discovered in the noise, it is uncovered in the quiet. In the silence of your morning, you realign with what truly matters. You are reminded that you were created with intention, and every breath you take is evidence that your assignment is not yet complete. In those first quiet moments of the day, you connect with the vision for your life, and you set the tone for everything that follows. A life without purpose is vulnerable to distraction. Without clarity, you will find yourself chasing after things that do not matter, investing energy in what will not last, and giving attention to what has no eternal value. But a life that begins with purpose is protected. Purpose acts like a filter. It shows you what to say yes to and what to decline. It prevents you from scattering your energy across meaningless pursuits. It gives you the strength to say no to what looks urgent but does not serve your vision. Every morning, when you return to purpose, you strengthen that filter and safeguard your life from being wasted. There is also power in declaring your purpose out loud. What you speak over your morning sets the rhythm for your day. When you rise and remind yourself of your assignment, you awaken courage, you ignite focus, and you stir determination. Purpose is not just something you carry in your heart. It is something you proclaim with your mouth until it becomes the reality of your steps. The words you declare in the morning become the map you follow throughout the day. Purpose also gives resilience. Life will not always go the way you planned. Some days will bring challenges, interruptions, or unexpected storms. But when your morning begins with purpose, you are not shaken by what comes against you. You do not measure the success of your day by how easy it was, but by how faithful you remain to your assignment. A purpose becomes the anchor that holds you steady when the winds of life blow strong. Without it, you drift. With it, you stand. The truth is this: every morning you are either designing your day or defaulting into it. If you do not begin with purpose, you will be pulled into someone else's agenda, lost in distractions, or trapped by trivial pursuits. But when you rise and immediately fix your heart and mind on why you are here, you seize control of your day before the world can take it from you. Purpose is not optional, it is essential. It is the difference between existing and living, between running in circles and running toward destiny. There is a hidden principle that governs every successful life: alignment. Just as a car cannot move straight if its wheels are out of alignment, your life cannot move forward if your thoughts, your words, and your actions are not aligned. Every morning is an opportunity to realign yourself, to bring order where there is confusion, to unite your inner world with your outer actions. Without this discipline, life becomes scattered, and scattered lives never produce destiny. Alignment means harmony between what you believe, what you say, and what you do. It is possible to believe one thing but live another, to declare one truth but practice something completely different. That disunity weakens your power and dilutes your potential. Every great life begins each day with the decision to align. When you wake up, you are not just given time, you are given the chance to decide who you will be that day. The discipline of alignment ensures that the person you want to become is reflected in the choices you make. The danger of misalignment is that it makes you live in contradiction. You say you want success, yet your habits belong to failure. You speak about discipline, yet your lifestyle reflects carelessness. You dream about greatness, yet your decisions keep you small. This is why mornings are so critical. If you do not bring your life into alignment before the day begins, you will spend your hours in conflict with yourself. And the greatest enemy you will ever fight is not outside you. It is the inner conflict of living in misalignment. When you begin your morning, alignment requires that you first examine your thoughts. Thoughts are the architects of your life. What you allow to remain in your mind will eventually manifest in your actions. If your thoughts are negative, fearful, or filled with doubt, you will unknowingly shape a day that reflects those thoughts. But if you discipline yourself each morning to align your thinking with faith, hope, vision, and truth, you build a foundation for strength. Thoughts determine direction, and direction determines destiny. This is why you cannot afford to allow your mind to wander aimlessly when you wake. You must set it, discipline it, and align it with where you want to go. After your thoughts, you must align your words. Words carry power. They are not just sounds in the air, they are seeds in the soil of your future. If your words contradict your vision, you sabotage your own destiny. Every morning is a chance to bring your words into agreement with your purpose. Instead of speaking about what you fear, you speak about what you believe. Instead of declaring limitation, you declare possibility. Instead of reinforcing defeat, you affirm victory. The discipline of alignment is not just internal reflection, it is external declaration. When your words match your thoughts, you begin to create momentum that pulls you in the direction of your destiny. Yet alignment cannot stop with thoughts and words. It must move into action. Your actions are the evidence of your discipline. It is possible to think right, speak right, but still live wrong. And that disconnect is where many people fail. They wake up with great ideas. They encourage themselves with strong declarations, but their actions betray their vision. True alignment happens when what you do reflects what you think and say. Each morning, you must discipline yourself to align your behavior with your beliefs. If you believe in growth, your actions must show discipline. If you declare success, your actions must reflect excellence. If you think in terms of vision, your actions must serve that vision. This discipline is not easy, but it is necessary. Discipline requires intentionality. It requires refusing to let feelings dictate decisions. There will be mornings when you do not feel like aligning your life, when you would rather live on autopilot. But alignment is not based on feelings, it is based on principles. Principles do not change with mood, and discipline does not bend with emotion. To live a life of alignment, you must commit to the practice every morning, regardless of how you feel. Alignment also brings power because it eliminates internal division. When your mind, your mouth, and your actions are divided, your energy is split. But when all three agree, your life becomes unstoppable. There is nothing stronger than a person who is fully aligned, whose inner world and outer world move in the same direction. That person cannot be shaken by distractions, cannot be easily derailed by setbacks, because everything within them is united in purpose. Each morning gives you the opportunity to build that unity again, to bring all the parts of yourself into harmony so that you can walk with strength and clarity. The truth is, the world is filled with people who live double lives, not in the sense of secrets, but in the sense of contradiction. They want one thing, but live another. They pray for success, but prepare for failure. They desire freedom, but practice bondage. And because of that contradiction, they never move forward. The discipline of alignment is the cure for that contradiction. It forces you to stop scattering your energy and start uniting it. It makes your life consistent, and consistency is the birthplace of transformation. There is a power that many underestimate, a principle so simple that most dismiss it, yet so profound that it has the ability to transform the course of a life. That principle is gratitude. Gratitude is more than polite words, more than saying thank you. It is a posture of the heart that reshapes the way you see the world. Each morning, when you awaken, gratitude must be your first response to the gift of life. The moment you open your eyes, you are holding a treasure that many did not receive. Gratitude acknowledges that breath is not guaranteed, time is not promised, and the opportunity of today is an undeserved gift. When you rise with gratitude, you rise with strength, because gratitude shifts your perspective from what is lacking to what is present, from what is broken to what is still whole. A grateful heart is a magnet for growth. Gratitude attracts opportunities because it trains you to see what others overlook. Where one person sees only problems, a grateful person sees possibilities. Where one person complains about obstacles, a grateful person sees chances to grow stronger. Gratitude changes the atmosphere of your life because it changes the atmosphere of your thinking. When your thoughts are saturated with thankfulness, bitterness loses its grip, fear loses its power, and discontentment loses its voice. Gratitude is not blindness to reality, it is clarity about blessings. It does not ignore pain, but gives you the power to endure it. It does not deny hardship, but enables you to rise above it. Yet gratitude alone is not enough. It must be coupled with focus. Gratitude clears your vision, but focus directs it. Many people start their mornings overwhelmed because they are distracted by too many demands, too many voices, too many comparisons. Without focus, gratitude can easily become scattered appreciation with no direction. Gratitude says, I am thankful for where I am. Focus says, I am intentional about where I am going. The two principles together create balance. Gratitude anchors you in contentment, while focus propels you into purpose. Focus is the discipline of choosing what matters most. Every morning, you will face countless invitations to give your attention away. Distractions will call louder than your vision. Urgency will compete with importance. But when you begin your day with the discipline of focus, you decide in advance where your energy will go. Focus acts like a shield that guards your attention from being stolen by things that do not serve your purpose. It is not enough to be grateful for the gift of today. You must also direct that gift toward what truly matters. Gratitude and focus together create resilience. Gratitude keeps you from despair when life is heavy, and focus keeps you from drifting when life is noisy. Gratitude softens your heart. Focus sharpens your mind. Gratitude gives you peace with the present. Focus gives you power for the future. Every morning, when you blend these two principles, you step into your day with balance. Without gratitude, focus can make you ambitious but restless. Without focus, gratitude can make you content but stagnant. But when they work hand in hand, they build a life that is both peaceful and purposeful. To practice gratitude each morning, you must first slow down. Life will push you to rush, to immediately chase deadlines and demands. But gratitude cannot be found in a hurry. It is found in stillness, in reflection, in acknowledging the blessings you already carry. When you pause to notice what is good, you create a foundation of joy that cannot be shaken by the troubles that come later in the day. Gratitude is fuel for endurance. It gives you the strength to continue because it reminds you that you already have more than enough to begin. Once gratitude has anchored your heart, focus must take over to direct your steps. Focus requires clarity. It demands that you identify what deserves your attention and what does not. Many people are exhausted, not because they lack time, but because they lack focus. They are pulled in every direction by distractions that do not serve their destiny. But a person of focus begins the day by identifying the path and refusing to be moved from it. Focus is the art of protecting your vision from unnecessary noise. It is the discipline of keeping your eyes on what produces growth instead of what steals energy. Focus also requires courage. It is not easy to say no, especially when distractions come disguised as opportunities. But focus teaches you that every yes requires a no. To say yes to your vision, you must say no to distraction. To say yes to your growth, you must say no to complacency. To say yes to your destiny, you must say no to the demands that dilute your energy. Every morning, focus calls you to make these choices with intention, to choose the narrow path of discipline over the wide path of distraction. When you combine gratitude and focus, you create a rhythm of success. Gratitude makes you aware of the value of the moment, and focus ensures you do not waste it. Gratitude keeps your spirit soft, while focus makes your spirit strong. Gratitude opens your eyes to the blessings around you, while focus directs your steps toward the blessings ahead of you. This is why every morning, the principle of gratitude and focus must guide you before you step out into the world. Words are the architects of your destiny. Every morning, when you open your mouth, you are building something, either a house of strength or a prison of defeat. What many fail to realize is that language is not neutral. Words are never just words, they are seeds. Every phrase you release is planted into the soil of your future, and over time, those seeds grow into the environment you live in. This is why you cannot afford to be careless with your speech. The habit of speaking life is not just about being positive. It is about creating the reality you want to walk in. When you rise in the morning, your tongue becomes the steering wheel of your day. If you begin with complaints, you steer your life toward frustration. If you begin with fear, you steer toward hesitation. If you begin with doubt, you steer toward discouragement. But if you begin with words of life, words of strength, vision, and expectation, you set your course toward growth and victory. The first words you release when you wake up are like the blueprint for everything that will unfold. They determine the atmosphere in which you will think, act, and respond. This is why the habit of speaking life must be intentional. It is easy to let words flow out of frustration, to speak what you feel instead of what you believe, to echo the noise around you instead of declaring the truth within you. But those who live by feelings will be controlled by circumstances, and those who live by principles will rise above them. Every morning requires discipline to silence the voice of negativity and to release words that align with purpose. The more you practice this discipline, the more natural it becomes, until your mouth no longer betrays your destiny, but builds it. Speaking life does not mean ignoring reality. It does not mean pretending challenges do not exist or refusing to acknowledge hardship. It means choosing to speak what builds rather than what destroys, to declare possibilities rather than limitations, to affirm faith rather than fear. Life is filled with difficulties, but the words you speak can either magnify them or minimize their power over you. A person who speaks life is not blind to obstacles, but refuses to let obstacles define the narrative of their day. Every declaration you make in the morning carries weight. When you say, "I am strong," you awaken strength that was already inside you but dormant. When you declare, "I am focused," you summon clarity that distractions tried to steal. When you speak, "I will walk in purpose," you bring your actions into alignment with vision. These are not empty statements. They are commands to your own spirit, reminders to your own mind, and signals to your own environment that you are in control. Life responds to the words you consistently release. If you want to change your life, you must first change your language. The danger of negative speech is that it creates self-fulfilling prophecies. When you wake up saying, "I can't," "I won't," or "I'm not able," you are already sabotaging your potential. The world may not stop you, circumstances may not limit you, but your own words can imprison you. Words carve pathways in the mind, and if you constantly speak defeat, your mind will build highways toward failure. But if you discipline yourself to speak life, your mind begins to build highways towards success. The tongue directs the feet, and the feet follow the words. This is why speaking life must become a daily habit, not an occasional effort. Just as the body requires food every morning to be strong, the spirit requires words of life to be fueled. You cannot eat once a week and expect strength for every day. Likewise, you cannot speak encouragement only once in a while and expect to live empowered consistently. Habits shape identity, and when the habit of speaking life becomes ingrained in you, positivity, strength, and focus become your second nature. You no longer have to force it. It flows out of you naturally because you have trained yourself to live that way. Speaking life is also contagious. The words you release into your environment do not stop with you, they affect those around you. When you enter a room with negativity, you pull others down. But when you enter with life-giving words, you elevate the atmosphere. Your declarations can inspire those who hear them, shift the mood of an environment, and awaken hope in those who had given up. Words not only build your future, but also influence the futures of those connected to you. Every morning when you choose to speak life, you are not just shaping your own path, but also leaving a trail for others to follow. This discipline requires faith, because sometimes your circumstances will not match the words you speak. You may declare strength when you feel weak, vision when you cannot yet see the way, abundance when your resources are few. But speaking life is not about describing your present. It is about declaring your potential. It is about speaking to what is unseen until it becomes seen, about affirming what is possible until it manifests. The words of your mouth can pull your future into your present if you refuse to let doubt silence them. Every morning gives you a choice to release words that drain you or words that empower you, to complain about what you lack or to declare what you will achieve, to echo the noise of defeat or to proclaim the sound of victory. The choice is yours, but the consequences are inevitable. What you speak consistently is what you will eventually live. This is why the habit of speaking life must never be taken lightly. It is not just talk, it is creation. Would you like me to now craft a conclusion for the entire 4 keynote script in the same style, pulling all the principles together into one powerful closing? Every morning is more than the start of another day. It is the birthplace of destiny. The way you rise determines the way you live, and the way you live determines the future you create. To begin with purpose is to refuse to drift through life without direction. Without direction. To live in alignment is to ensure that your thoughts, words, and actions agree with the vision you carry. To embrace gratitude and focus is to anchor your heart in contentment while keeping your eyes set on where you are going. To make a habit of speaking life is to shape your environment with words that strengthen, build, and create. These are not just ideas to admire, they are principles to practice. Each morning gives you the chance to reset, to correct what was broken yesterday, and to lay fresh foundation for tomorrow. The person who masters their mornings will master their life, because mornings are the seedbeds of destiny. When you rise with clarity, discipline, and vision, you carry into the day a strength that circumstances cannot take and distractions cannot steal. You have been entrusted with the gift of time, and every sunrise is a reminder that your purpose is still alive. Do not waste it by rushing into noise, surrendering to distraction, or speaking defeat. Stand each morning with intention, align yourself with truth, give thanks for what you have, focus on what matters most, and declare life into your world. The power to transform your future is hidden in the first moments of your day. Guard them, honor them, and use them well, because the way you begin will always decide the way you end. Most people wake up every morning already behind in life, rushing, worrying, and reacting to problems instead of directing their day. That's why they feel stuck, unproductive, and overwhelmed. But what if I told you that a single shift in the way you start your morning could change the trajectory of your entire life? Today, I will show you what to do every morning so you no longer live by default, but by design.